So just in case you're not really feeling the orange here, I've bought a very cheap replacement. It's kind of blue, comes in this brown box, and then when you open it, it comes like this, but these are outside. So this hinge was out. I should have another one somewhere. Maybe I've put it, yeah, I've also put it in there. So when you get it, it comes like this, and these are separate. I think they're magnetic, but we'll see. They don't attach to each other, but we'll check how they apply onto or latch onto here. So as you know here, if you press this button here, you can just simply pull and that comes off. And then when you put it back on, you can press and then you put in, and that clasps on there as well. I'm pretty sure it will go even if you don't press. So let me take it out and then try and put it on without pressing the button. It's not as easy, so you have to press here, put it in, and then it latches on. So let's take it off. Let's take both of these off like that and like that, and then let's look at our, and the change is simply because of color. I mean, there are many people that comment on the orange, how striking it is, and obviously tells people at a glance that it's Ultra. The problem is it doesn't always go with things that you wear. So when I'm at work, for example, it stands out because it doesn't really go with anything else I'm wearing. So I thought for some days I could either have blue, on some days I could have black, but I just wanted to try these out first. So the quality is very different. So this is very hard and it's not flimsy, and you can see here that because of this it's very thick, but when you compare that to this, the blue one might look thick, but it's very flimsy. It can be moved, and you know, these are the ones that are less durable, obviously very cheap as well. I think under $10. I can't remember how much I paid, but very cheap. So let's try and see then how they're supposed to go on the watch. So what you can see is there's this thing here, and I think that goes on one of these. So what you're trying to make essentially is the same clasp here, and this is what you have in terms of replacement. So we can try and see if it works. It should, obviously, but what you've got to do first is make sure this goes with that. So let's try and do that now. It's the usual. If you've had bands before for these watches, this will be familiar. So let's put one end in, pull down, and that's done. So now what I'm gonna do is try and make sure that this goes on here. So let me press first of all, put that in, and then let go. No, nothing there. Try again. Right, let's line up properly. Press, try again. Yeah, I had a click. Oh, it's come out again. Okay, press, put that in, and that should be it. Yeah, so it fits in. It's holding. There is some movement there. So you know what you're trying to do with this is usually when this goes on there, there's no visible dust collecting here. I covered it in my previous video. The dust won't collect in there easily, but with this it's very loose. It's very loose, but it does go in, it does latch on, and I'm pulling, you know, it's quite strong. So let's do the other one. Is actually, before I do the other one, I'm just gonna put the original back on. It's always tough for my nail to go in there and press, and I think that's what it is here. So that is it. So when I move this band, essentially what's moving is this bit. The bit that's next to the phone to the watch doesn't move at all. So it does not allow dust to move to get in there. If dust gets in there, it won't do damage because this is rigid. It only bends here, as you can see. It only bends here, but not on the actual watch. Compared to this, which is gonna do a lot of movement here. Dust can get in there, and then when it does that, it will scratch the band, but that's the good thing about it, is it won't scratch the watch, it will scratch this other part of the band, the one that we've just put in there. Anyway, let's proceed with the rest of the installation. So take that one out, and then take this and put that in there. Again, I always start with getting the bottom part, getting one of these going into the bottom part first. So it goes in there, and then the other one. Oh, it is a bit fiddly because you can't always see. I think that's in. Right, let's go and do it on the watch. Press down, put this in. I didn't hear a click, but it's holding. So here we are. So this is what it looks like. And then if I was to, you can tell the difference. This is it's very thin and bendable, whereas this is very thick. You can see if you do that, it tries to keep straight, you know. It's very rigid, whereas with this belt, I think it's just very movable and flimsy. It would take some effort to do this on here. So that's the difference, and this is what it would look like. So if I had black bands, I could put them on a different day. If I had blue, I can put them on a different day. Just thought I would share that, just in case you're thinking of a different band. It does feel cheap, this one, but it does the job. Let me know what you think in the comments. Cheers.